Hi, Martin Road second graders. It's Mrs. Marson. Today is Thursday, May 7th, and we are ready to begin our reading lesson for today. Today we are going to read a passage called Same and Different. And you may have noticed that with all of these passages in the corner, they give us the reading strategy. And our strategy today is compare and contrast. All second graders have heard these words in their classrooms. Let me remind you what they mean. So when you are comparing something, you are wanting to know how things are the same. If you are contrasting things, you are looking for how things are different. So if I look at these two twistables, we have a yellow twistable and a red twistable. They're both erasable, so I can erase them. They both help me write and color. They're both Crayola brand, Crayola, and they are both twistables. They are different because they are different colors. One is yellow, one is red. One is darker, one is a lighter color. So I just compared and contrast these two writing utensils or writing crayons. I'm going to move them off to the side. And today we are going to read a passage about two brothers. One is named Diego and one is named Santiago. Again, boys and girls, you are going to read it 3 times. I am reading it once, and then you should read it again when we're finished, a second and a third time. So let's read first, and then when we are finished reading, we are going to compare and contrast those two brothers. How are they the same? How are they different? So as you're reading, that's your focus. That's what you should be thinking about. How are these brothers the same, and how are they different? And here we go. Diego and Santiago are brothers. They have many things that are the same. They sleep in the same room. They go to the same elementary school. They do their science homework at the same time. They both like to play soccer and read books. Both boys have kind hearts. They like to help others around them. Diego and Santiago are different in some ways too. Diego is very tall. He has black hair and green eyes. Santiago is short with dark brown hair. He has brown eyes. Diego likes to help do chores around the house. Santiago likes to help his dad work in the garage. Diego wants to be a doctor when he grows up. He wants to help people feel better. Santiago wants to be a teacher when he grows up. He wants to teach people new things. Both boys are smart. They will work hard to reach their goals. So we are going today to start with how the boys are the same. And I am going to use my red twistable. So if you have a red crayon or whatever color you're using, color that same there. And we're going to look in this passage for how the boys are the same. If we go back to the first paragraph, so this passage has 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, and 4 paragraphs. Did you know that a paragraph could be this short? Sure it can. We know that it's a paragraph because this is called indented, which means these letters are moved in. That means it's a paragraph. So let's start with the first paragraph. If we go back to the first paragraph, Diego and Santiago are brothers. They have many things that are the same. I remember that this whole paragraph was how the boys are the same. So I am going to just gently color this whole paragraph because this tells me how all the boys are the same. Comparing them tells me how they are the same. Got that? Now let's look at the next paragraph. Diego and Santiago are different in some ways too. Now I remember that all of this was how they were, this paragraph described how they were different. So I'm going to use my yellow twistable. I know it's not the easiest to see, but I'm going to color this paragraph yellow. This is how they were different. And I'm also, I can't forget to do this, color that yellow also. Let's look at the third paragraph. Diego wants to be a doctor. Oh, I remember this. Diego wants to be a doctor and Santiago wants to be a teacher. So that is how they are different. So I'm going to color this one yellow too. All right. And the last one. Both boys are smart. Well, that sentence tells me that is how they are the same. There's that clue word, both boys are smart. So even though this paragraph is small, it's only 2 sentences, I'm still going to color that red. And you see, Mrs. Marston's making it kind of sloppy. It doesn't have to be perfect. So if I just take a look at that, wow, this is how they're the same. This is how they're the same. And that is how they are different. That really is a great way to show me exactly how they are the same and different. So now let's go down to our written part. Strategy practice. Write a sentence that compares or contrasts the brothers. I am going to choose a sentence that compares them. Now I know that compares means how they are the same. And I am going to write that, I'm going to look, that both boys like to play soccer and read books. So here I go. Both boys like to play, and I'm a quick writer. My students know that, so I will show it. I'll give you time to catch up. Both boys like to play soccer and read, whoops, I'll squeeze this in here, books. There's my period. Okay, so I'll show that for you so you can see it. You can write my sentence. Both boys like to play soccer and read books. Or you can choose your own sentence. Maybe you want to write a sentence about how the boys are different. Now, if you are writing a sentence about how they are different, make sure that you are having both boys in there. So if you said, Diego is tall, but Santiago is short, that's how you would contrast them. All right, let's go down here. And I have my red crayon here. Both boys have kind hearts, have black hair, want to be teachers, like to work in the garage. So I'm going to go up here, and because this is red, I'm going to be looking for the paragraphs that I found that were red. Well, I see this one right here. Both boys are smart. They work hard to reach their goals. I don't see that down here though. So I guess I better go up to this paragraph. Ah, I see it. There it is. Both boys have kind hearts. They like to help others around them. So that would be letter A. Have kind hearts. See how we use the passage to find our answer? Always do that. Each brother, and this is our yellow now, has a different goal, bedroom, house, school. Well, they don't have a different bedroom, because I remember they sleep in the same bedroom. They don't have a different house, and they don't go to a different school. So I'm almost certain it is goal. And if I look up here, yeah, I remember. Diego wants to be a doctor, and Santiago wants to be a teacher. So those are different goals. So that would be a different goal. something that they are hoping that they will be able to do. All right, you're doing great, everybody. Question 3, blue. Which one is true about both brothers? They like doing chores around the house. They want to be doctors. I know that's not true. They do their homework at the same time. They have brown hair. Well, I remember that one had black hair and one had brown hair, so that's not true. I know that they don't both want to be doctors, so I'm stuck between these two. Let's see. What do they... I remember it did something about them working around the house. Oh, Diego likes to help around the house, right, but Santiago likes to work in the garage, so that's not correct. They both don't like to work around the house. They both do their homework at the same time, and I do remember that. Oh, yes, it was their science homework at the same time, yes. Okay, last question. Write down one way the brothers are different. Oh, so I think that I am going to write about their goals. Diego wants to be a teacher, but... Oh, no. I wrote the wrong thing. Not teacher. Boop, boop, boop. And I'm using a pen, so I have to scribble. He wants to be a doctor. Good thing I checked up here. But Santiago wants to be a teacher. I mix them up. That's why it's always good to check your passage up at the top. So I apologize that is a little sloppy, not really my best handwriting. But as I said before, it's hard to write and hold a phone at the same time. So I wrote, Diego wants to be a doctor. Make sure that you have doctor. But Santiago wants to be a teacher. That is definitely one way that they're different. If you want to write something else, you certainly can. Remember, different is your yellow colors here. And when you write how they are different, remember, boys and girls, that you have to include both boys. So just writing Diego wants to be a doctor doesn't tell us how they're different. You have to have both boys in your sentence. Awesome work today. We'll see you tomorrow.